Oh my. Cereal.
Good morning.
Morning, guys. We are here for another live video.
Live Friday morning video. We'll just let people jump on in here before we jump into the topic this morning. We're going to be talking about, actually it was a suggestion, topic suggestion from Chantel. So Chantel views, I would say pretty much every Friday morning. I don't know if she's ever missed one. Chantel's in here always watching, and she sent us in a topic suggestion of how to stay positive when there's big weather or severe weather changes. I know that in Olds and around the Olds area in Alberta, there was some snow yesterday and throughout this week. So already there's the struggles of that. So we wanted to talk about this morning, or Chantel suggested that we talk about how to stay positive during these times. So that's what we're going to talk about this morning. We'll let you guys jump on in. And if you guys have any ideas about how you stay positive during this time, we'd love to hear from you guys as well as we, I guess, conversate.
As
we conversate.
You can get a little blueberry right there.
I knew that was going to happen. So last week,
just ignoring me.
We only had like banana peanut butter, or maybe we didn't have anything. I don't remember before the show, and I was starving when we ended the show.
Yeah, well, it was 2 hours.
It was 2 hours long. I was gonna eat my arm off. So this time I made a yogurt bowl, and Drew's still eating his.
Well,
a CTP yogurt parfait.
I was like, is this professional? Or I was like, should I not eat? And I'm like, I'm hungry. It's morning. And we're pretty much here hanging out with you guys. So I was like, I think I'm going to eat it with you guys.
How's that blueberry? Is it gone?
It's still there. Dorothy has issues with things in her teeth. Oh, you should have showed them what we found on the beach.
I'll go get it. Because it's fun.
Let us know in the comments what you guys had for breakfast, or what you're having for breakfast. Chantel said, thanks, Drew and Dorothy. You're welcome, Chantel. Thank you for the suggestion. Sometimes we don't always know what people want to hear or what you guys want to talk about, so it's always nice to get some feedback. So we really appreciate that, Chantel. And Louise is in here, too. Hey, Louise. Thanks for joining us this morning. We're excited to get back here for another Friday morning live. We always look forward to these. Keep those hearts coming. We have one so far. I like the hearts. It's just a little heart button. When you're watching, there's the like button, there's the heart button. We like the hearts.
Okay, so this is what Drew found on the beach. I told Drew we should have this little trinket, like, drawer or jar of everything we find on the beach, because we find a lot of stuff on the beach that people drop or fall off of out of their bag or whatever.
You know what the beach is like? Have you guys ever seen the show Lost? It was like a while back, a number of years ago, but it was kind of a nerdy kind of show. But these guys were on an island. It was like a magical island, and all kinds of crazy stuff happened. And I feel like the things that we find on the beach are like things we need. So the first thing we found was a keychain.
A keychain.
And
we needed a keychain.
We had a new key, and we needed to get a keychain for it. And I found this just yesterday. And I think Dorothy needs it.
So Drew's like, I found something for you. He was over doing like pull-ups on the pull-up bar at the beach. Like on the beach in the sand. That's how cool it is. And I was swinging on the swing.
We should have showed those pictures.
And Drew came over after he was done his pull-ups, and he says, I found something for you. And it was this little package. I don't know. So then you open it up. Okay, we'll show it over here. So then you open it up, and there's a mirror in there, and toothpicks! And at first we're like, why is there mirror and toothpicks in there? But it's so that you can look at your teeth after you eat, and there's toothpicks in there. But I don't think I'll be using these toothpicks because we found it on the beach. But we could find some of our own toothpicks and put them in there. And then you look in the mirror after you eat, pick your teeth. Anyway.
I thought it was a cool idea.
Drew thinks I need that.
Louise says, I love Lost. Yes, Louise. I tried to watch it after, like a couple years after, and just wasn't the same, so I just have to hold on to the memories of Lost.
Louise also says Dorothy is making up words again. Conversate?
Yeah, it's kind of her thing. I was like, you need like a Dorothy dictionary because most of your words don't really add up.
But my words, you always know what I'm meaning.
I'm not sure if that makes it okay to just have random words that...
I think it's okay. I think it's a part of my creative side. Some people art. I make up words. My artistic side.
What did Nikki say? Thanks for tuning in here, Nikki.
Nikki says, I slept in today doing my workout now. Had a fantastic snack, but getting hungry. Good morning.
I know,
yes.
I'm with you, Nikki. I need to have some breakfast, too. Dorothy ate hers in like 4 seconds.
I did not. 15 minutes. Thank you very much. Got a little defensive there.
Ooh. So, Nikki, so are you doing your workout while you're watching us, Nikki?
That would be pretty talented.
That's pretty awesome. Well, we got some hearts flowing now.
There we go.
What did Chantel say about... Chantel said, that's so cute about your little thing there.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It is pretty cute.
I think most people would throw these things away, and I'm like, why don't we use them?
I'm going to eat rice cakes with peanut butter and banana for breakfast. We haven't had those in a long time, Drew.
Good for you, Chantel. Chantel, I think you were saying that you're not really a breakfast person. You're trying to get into it, so that's awesome if you're making some changes or efforts or whatever you're doing.
Usually, Chantel is a smoothie girl.
Right.
So, that's cool. So, what should we get into, Drew? The books? You don't want to talk about the topic?
Yeah, I want to talk about the books first.
Okay. Here's your
That'd be fun. We do a morning show for our monthly members every week. And I was like, and we do like fun facts and we do quotes and recipes. But I thought, why not do a little fun fact about the books we're reading for you guys? I thought that might be fun. Let's just switch it up a little bit. What do you think, Dorothy?
Go ahead. Tell us about your book.
Dorothy's a more structured person. Mm-hmm. I just need to have some tea. Why don't you start?
Okay. So the book that I've been reading, I'm actually on my 3rd time reading this book, is The Secret. And The Secret is, oh my gosh, it's an amazing book. It's been, well, it was like, how do you call it, Drew? It went like...
Old?
Okay, it's old. I don't always follow trends when they're trendy. I get into it after. So years ago, this book would have been trendy, I suppose, right? Trendy.
Can you let us know in the comments if you have read or heard of this book? Dorothy found this book and she's like, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome!" And I was like, "The whole world read it like 10 years ago." Were you sleeping?
Where are you?
Hibernating.
And I was like, that doesn't matter, Drew. But I believe that, this might sound a little hokey to some of you, but I believe that, books find their way to us when we're ready for them. Because Drew is a bigger book nerd than I am. But, a lot of times he'll suggest books and I'll try to read it and it just doesn't work for me. But then later on, I'll pick it up again a year later, 6 months later. And I'll be ready for it. And I just think that books come into your life when you are needing them or when you are ready for them. So I wasn't ready for this 10 years ago when it was went crazy and everybody was reading it. But then it came into my life even a couple summers ago, wasn't it? I tried to read this and I wasn't really ready for it. but this summer was the summer. So if you haven't read The Secret, or if it's been a long time since you read it, definitely suggest grabbing this one. And it's all about, they talk a lot about, or the whole, I guess, idea of the book is about the law of attraction. So how we can attract what we want and create the life that we want. The end.
That's all I have to say about that. We didn't have any comments. Maybe no one's have heard of it either.
Well, Louise said, I've never read it. Just recently bought the new version of it. Haven't read it yet. Oh, you're going to go on and get into this one, Louise.
I know. It was in Oprah's book club, and they made a movie about it, and I don't know. Maybe it was just me and the people around me. I feel like sometimes when we're doing something, we feel like everyone else is doing it too. I'm pretty sure, I know The Secret was like giant news when it came out. But we only had Louise in there mention it, so maybe no one else has? Question mark? I'm reading the Book of Joy. So this is Archbishop, Archbishop Desmond Tutu. And then we have the Dalai Lama, His Holiness. And these guys, of course, they come from very different religions, and they're really good friends. And they only get a chance to see each other once in a while because of politics, because of how dangerous it is for the Dalai Lama to go in different areas. And it's crazy for me to think that the Dalai Lama, what he stands for, how peaceful he is, how holy he is, and how like his life is in danger anytime he wants to travel or go somewhere. It's so bizarre, the world we live in. But these two got together, and they're hilarious. They're like these two older gentlemen, and they both have this crazy sense of humor. They like poke fun at each other, and they both share their they have very different backgrounds, but very similar mindsets when it comes to peace and finding happiness and being joyful. And it's just, I love it. I can't really put it down. And that's where I'm at right there. I only kind of just started. That's his bookmark. My bookmark.
Sometimes Drew does this. He'll rip a little square piece of paper off, and then he'll like stick it in his book, and that'll be his bookmark. And I'm like, what are you doing?
I'm saving my page.
It's like this little tiny square piece of paper in the book. And sometimes there's like 4 or 5 of them because he wants to go back to certain sections.
It's true.
Interesting fun fact about Drew.
Anyways, I like these books because I feel like they center me. Like after I read these types of books, I kind of forget about some of the things you learn. Then you go back to it. But I feel like Dorothy was saying, I feel like books find you. I think that's what you're trying to get at. I'm not sure we find books. I think when we're ready, books come into our lives, and this is very eye-opening for me. Just to like, it doesn't matter like where you are. I love this quote where it says, "Wherever you go, there you are." So I think sometimes we try to go somewhere else to avoid our problems or run away from them, but they always follow us because they're ours. And when we go somewhere, they go
come with us.
So, anyways, you can find joy wherever you are. Very cool book. If you get a chance, check it out. Okay, we'll get into our topic. I just want to pull over Nikki.
Nikki says, I have not read it.
She's talking about yours.
Yeah.
Very good book. You should check it out.
Definitely a good one. It makes you go, whoa! I was doing that all through when I read it. Whoa! And then when I read a book, I get so excited. And I'm like, Drew, listen to this, Drew! And then I read it to him and he just goes, yeah, I get it. I already read that book. I'm like, oh my gosh, Drew, you have to listen to this. Listen to this. And I start reading it to him. And he's like, yep. Nice, Dorothy.
I'm trying to be supportive. I read the book like 10 times, like 10 years ago. So everything she reads, I've heard. Not all the time, but in that particular book.
Yeah. When I get all excited, Drew's like, it's all news to me.
So today we're going to talk about staying positive, especially with the weather changing. We know that, at least in Alberta, the beautiful summer is over.
Yes.
In Alberta, there's not much of a fall. And Dorothy always talks about that because she's from the East Coast.
Yeah, in the East Coast where I grew up in New Brunswick, we always have beautiful falls. And I moved to Alberta, and there really isn't a fall. So it goes from summer to winter pretty quickly, or sometimes we get a little bit of the leaves, change color, but then 2 weeks later they're gone. Because the wind picks up and blows them all away. And I actually had a friend get married in last I don't know, fall. Anyway, what I was getting at was 2 of my friends both got married in the fall. One in Alberta, one in the East Coast, and it was 2 completely different settings. The fall wedding on the East Coast was like beautiful, like colorful leaves, and they were around the same time, like both a couple weeks apart in October. Beautiful, like in New Brunswick, beautiful fall leaves, reds and oranges and greens, and then just beautiful warm sky. I was in a little dress. And then the other one was brown. No leaves on the trees. And cold. So it's just really like contrasting. And when I moved to Alberta, I wasn't really prepared for that.
Yeah, that was a long explanation for the weather changing.
Yes, it was.
So basically, well, we do have a short. I didn't notice till you said something, Dorothy, that our falls in Alberta are so short. Like that's just what I grew up with, and I was used to. But it really gets gets cold like overnight. It gets so cold, like it's almost like summer, and then there's a little bit of fall, and then it's like freezing overnight. Mm-hmm. And we had that experience because it was like okay, like we were doing classes outside, and then one morning it was like right before we left, it was like frost.
Yes.
And we're like,
Nikki would remember that.
Yeah.
Nikki was at our morning classes.
And so it's I suppose not having that fall makes it a whole lot different because you don't get a chance to transition into colder weather or like ease into it. It's like summer, a little bit of fall, and freezing.
Yeah, for a long time. Freezing for a long time.
So I guess what we're getting at is that we understand that there's challenges. There's going to be challenges, especially with the weather changing and the things that we have to deal with because we know that we're not going to get as much sunshine. We're not going to be as active because we're not going to be outside as much. And we want to offer you some tips and suggestions on how you can enjoy our long winters and still move forward with your goals and
stay positive.
I suppose happiness.
Yeah. We want to talk about how to stay positive throughout these weather changes and throughout the different seasons.
Yeah, I just got a couple comments here. This is my mama. Good morning, Mama.
Good morning.
And then we have
Chantal. The leaves are already yellow and falling off because of the cold snow. Yeah, I couldn't believe it when we were back in August. And again, we were doing the workouts in the park. And the leaves were already turning yellow. I was like, oh my gosh, it's August. Slow down.
Not ready for this. Do you want to start with a tip or would you like me?
You can go ahead.
Okay.
Unless you're going to steal mine, and then I'll go first.
I wrote mine down.
Yeah, I noticed how conveniently, because we talked about it last night, and how conveniently all of the things I said wound up on your piece of paper.
That's a lie.
That is not a lie.
Dorothy's like, what do you think we should talk about tomorrow? And I was like, let me list them for you.
Nope, that's not how that happened.
And now they're Dorothy's.
They were mine from the beginning.
Oh my gosh, that's such a lie. Okay.
It's not a lie! You stole my tips, guys. Happens every show, actually. We talk about the show the night before, and then the next morning, he always says what I talked about. And I have nothing to say, because he already talked about it.
Stop lying to them, they're going to believe you. She's lying.
I am not lying!
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead, Drew, with the tip. One of my tips, by the way, that he wrote on this piece of paper.
Okay, are you done?
Yes, I'm done. You can go ahead.
All right. So for me, one of the most important things is to tell the truth.
I am.
Be truthful in your words. We should have 4 agreements. Maybe that should be
my book. Maybe that's the book I should be reading.
One of the 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz is be impeccable with your word. It means don't lie to people.
So Drew, stop stealing my stuff! That's a form of lying.
Okay, so
anyway.
For me, the first one would be to give yourself something to look forward to. And I think much of our tips would be centered around that, or much of the conversation, because it's challenging. Because it's challenging when we know it's colder outside. We have to get the shovels out. We have to get the winter boots out and winter jackets. There's a lot of things that aren't all that positive, unless you love that. And it sounds funny, because I grew up in Alberta most of my life, or lived there, and most people don't celebrate the snow and cold weather. Like, I don't know anyone really that's like, yes, it's snowing and freezing out, but so many people live there. It's a bit odd. But there's a lot of things that we're not excited about. So we have to find something to be excited about. So for me, to give yourself something to look forward to is very important. Now, I would like, since I stole that one from you, I don't want to finish my thought. Would you like to add anything?
No. You're taking this on yourself.
You want me to carry on?
Yes!
Okay, so when it comes to giving yourself something to look forward to, it could be just about anything, but in this regard, I mean, it could be challenging if finances are an issue, but if you could give yourself something to look forward to, like a trip.
That would be something a bit more extreme, I suppose. Like, a trip would be something big to look forward to, and like Drew said, if you have the means to do so, it can go, like, it can mean a lot, and it can change your whole mindset around positivity, right?
About being more positive.
You're always thinking about that trip, for example, if it is a trip, right? Like, you can post pictures on your fridge or on your mirror, and you can count down. Like, we would always have little countdowns to when we were going away, for example, and every day we'd like to pull off a little sticky note from, oh, now it's 10 days or 9 days, or sometimes we started when it was like 57 days.
But at least you have something to look forward to. But if we don't have something, look at those hearts flying in. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
So if you're looking at something that, if it's the beginning of winter right now and you're like kind of not happy, not excited that it's freezing out and that we're going to be spending more time inside, if you have something to look forward to, maybe it's a December trip, for example. And it doesn't have to be, maybe it's a trip to the mountains. Like in Alberta, for example. I think most of our is everyone from Alberta? That would help. Like, is everyone watching from Alberta right now? Maybe just leave in the comments where you're from, and we could specialize the conversation a bit more. But if you're living in Alberta, the mountains are usually about 2 hours away. So it's not really that far. But you can have a nice getaway in the cold weather. It doesn't have to be somewhere sunshiny and hot. But if you give yourself something to look forward to, like there's hot tubs, for example, there's saunas, there's hot springs, there's workout rooms, there's a lot of places that you can go that are reasonably priced if that's something that is more beneficial to you within your budget, I suppose. Mm-hmm. So you could plan a trip to like something that Dorothy and I have visited and enjoyed is the Banff Springs Hotel. Mm-hmm. It's like this giant castle. And you can go and hang out there for a couple days, and it makes you feel like royalty, and it just gives you an uplift, gives you a boost. And if that's something that you're looking forward to, then you have something to aspire to each day, like, oh, I can't wait to take that trip. I can't wait to feel like royalty. Mm-hmm. Can't wait to sit in that sauna. They have like 3 different pools, all different weather, or all different temperatures.
Mm-hmm. Very detoxifying. You go from hot to cold, and then from cold to back to cold to hot. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. But that's something, if that's better for your budget and if that's easier for you to do, then you can still plan, you can still give yourself something to look forward to, because it'll make the winter so much different if you're working towards that. Like, I want to be strong, I want to be healthy, I want my immune system to be strong, for example, when I go away and do that.
Mm-hmm. I was just reading some comments. Louise says she's from Alberta, born and raised. Nikki is from Olds, And that's all we got. I noticed, though, we missed a comment from Chantal. Sorry about that, Chantal. But Chantal, we were talking about breakfast and how she wasn't really a breakfast person. And now Chantal says, I wake up hungry. So that's awesome.
That's awesome. And that's what we kind of hope for when we start to work with people and we're like, so you need to eat breakfast. It's going to increase your metabolism. And you should start to get hungry in the morning. Mm-hmm. Because that means that your metabolism has sped up and it means that you're burning body fat at a higher rate. So everyone kind of gets scared when they're like, oh my gosh, I'm
hungry all the time. Oh my gosh, what's going on? But we should be hungry all the time. But we should be hungry every few hours. And that means our metabolism is burning and running at a high rate. And if we're not, if we're not hungry throughout the day, that means our metabolism is running too slow. And that's basically, if our metabolism is running so slow, it's not burning off the body fat that it should be.
That's right. So when people are like, oh, I eat once a day or like twice a day or I don't need to eat so often, I'm just not hungry, that's not where we want your body to be at. Like your metabolism isn't running as high as we would like it to. So we have to find ways to increase your metabolism. And one of the best ways is to start eating smaller meals throughout the day. That's really going to be beneficial to get you going in the right direction.
You know what's interesting is if you pay attention to your body and really listen to it, there are some days that you're more hungry than others, right? There's some days where you, like Drew, you and I, we feel more hungry.
Well, especially when you're burning at a higher rate. So, for example, like the other day, we went for a morning run. I was thinking about doing an afternoon workout. Well, then we had yoga, which it wasn't just, what's your relaxing one?
Oh, restorative or yin.
Okay. So that's the one where you pretty much just lay there? Dorothy's like, I love yin. It's so relaxing. I'm like, yeah, just lay there.
It's very, very meditative practice, and it is challenging, but in a different way. A lot of the poses are seated poses in yin, and you're holding them for around 5 to 10 minutes each pose. So you get it's very, I don't know what the word is, like healing, I suppose, a healing type of yoga. If you have injuries or it gets deep into the muscle tissue, and that's yin yoga. And I like it because most everything that I do is fast paced and high energy, but the yin yoga. How would you say that?
I was just, I call you a snurtle. I just thought fast paced was a
contradiction. But I mean, when we work out hard, we work out strong. When we're working on our business, we're always, on the go, working. And so then yin provides the opportunity for me to slow down, and it's very meditative and relaxing and stretchy. Very stretchy. So Drew goes to those classes and he's like, I want to work. I don't want to sit here for an hour.
Yeah, I like high intensity stuff.
Yeah.
Like I like fast paced workouts. I love doing gymnastics and learning flips and handstands and stuff like that. So to lay there, I'm like, when are we going to be doing stuff? Can we do stuff now? How about now?
Drew dropped into my restorative class one time and said, we were done. He's like, basically I spend $15 to take a nap. Remember that?
Yeah. So, yes.
Because restorative is even more gentle than the yin class.
I didn't know what I was getting myself into. It'd be different if it was like, if they told me beforehand it was like a meditation class. Which was what I thought it was. You just pretty much lay there. And I was expecting like yoga. And when I do yoga, I like the flows and I like to move. And there's a thing, there's like water, fire, in Ayurveda, there's like what you are, I think, internally. And I think I'm like water.
Always moving.
I always feel like I need to be moving and flowing and doing something.
So what do you think I am?
Well, there's one that, I don't know which one it is, but there's one that is like the rock.
He's the most fun.
It's pretty good. And then when the rock moves, it like moves slow because it's so big and heavy.
But anyway, we were getting back on track to what you were talking about, Drew. We were doing back to metabolism. We were talking about, but we had gone for a run in the morning. We rode our bikes to the market in the afternoon, which is like 10K or 12K. I don't know. It's a good bike ride. And then we went to yoga in the afternoon, and I was saying, "Oh my gosh, today I'm just so hungry and I can't seem to stay full."
So
because we were being so active.
Right, and then it's same thing with hydration. It's usually the next day. So if you're thirsty, if you're thirsty today, that usually means you didn't get enough water in yesterday. So when you wake up, like Dorothy was like this morning or the other morning, she's like, "I'm starving." Like, well, we didn't stop moving the whole day, so you burn a lot of calories and you expend a lot of energy. So you need to replace that with food, and food is energy. It was meant to give us energy and fuel our bodies. So that's why we need to continue to fuel our bodies, especially when we are so active. You need to put more food in your body. Mm-hmm. So that was our metabolism talk, and that was Chantel was saying she's starting to get hungry in the morning, which is fantastic. It's that you can tell you're on the right track when you're getting hungry in the morning. So
yeah,
good job, Chantel.
It's awesome.
So we were talking about having something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm. So I was. Are you ready for my tip now?
I am ready for your tip now.
So Drew's tip, really my tip, was to find something to look forward to. We did talk about a trip, but it could be something else as well.
Like, I wasn't quite done with that.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Well, I thought you were going to do yours, and I was going to come back to mine.
No, just finish yours.
You just want it done and over with. Let's see what Chantel says about Ayurveda. I don't think I say that right, by the way.
I can't help you out with that. So.
My Ayurveda is fire. I'm reading the book right now by Michelle Phan.
Oh, nice.
Awesome, Chantel. Chantel actually won that on a past live show.
I think your mom did, didn't she?
Oh,
Didn't your mom win the book by Michelle Chantel? I think Tina won it. But it's awesome that you're reading it, Chantel. That's so cool.
I read that book as well. I interviewed Michelle on Exploring Mind and Body. You guys can listen to that full interview on exploringmindandbody.com. But tell us what those mean, Chantel, if you have that book in front of you. I think there's 4 of them. Tell them what fire means, what water means.
And I'm the rock.
I'd like to know. I don't even know if the rock's one of them. I could have made that up. So I was saying that give yourself something to look forward to. So I said something that's close, like something like budget-wise, something that's maybe in the mountains or at a friend's or family member's cabin, if that's something that is better for you. But if you have the means, by all means, go somewhere further.
Laughing at his own jokes again. Okay, but I have something to say about looking forward to something, and it's on a much smaller scale than getting away for the weekend. And one of the things that I always looked forward to in the winter months when it was cold is coming home and taking a bath. And it was something so small, but it was warm, right? It was so warm and cozy and relaxing. So, and when I was teaching, it was long days at school. It's cold, and I would come home, and in the evening, I would have my bath. So just something small like that to look forward to, or something positive can help you. Can go a long way. You know what I'm saying?
And that goes back to taking time for yourself and understanding that we deserve time for ourselves. I think many times that we were raised around guilt and things that we feel like we shouldn't be doing. And like we hear it all the time, like, I feel so guilty for this. Like, you have no business being guilty for that. Let someone else be guilty for it. Like, appreciate that, accept that, understand that those things, you deserve those things. Like, you deserve to have a bath after a long day. And it's a detoxing bath, so Himalayan salt,
baking soda, and essential oil. So we usually choose lavender essential oil, very calming, very soothing, and healing as well.
So if you have a long day, or if it's freezing outside and you have that to look forward to, you play soft music, maybe incense, maybe a great book like The Book of Joy or The Secret. And you have that to look forward to at the end of the day. That's going to change your whole day, because that's what you have. Like, you have something to look forward to at the end of the day, instead of when you get home, then you're rushing around or running around, and that your day really doesn't end.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes for us, like, we don't watch a lot of TV. Like, Drew and I don't even own a TV here at the beach, and our TV in Olds actually broke some time ago, and we never replaced it. So anyway, but we do enjoy a TV series now and again on Netflix, and sometimes in the winter, that's something we look forward to. In the winter months when it, if it's cold outside, you're inside more. It'll be like a treat or something to look forward to at the end of the day. Is, we get to watch a show. So just those small things as well can mean so much. Chantel says, wind, fire, earth. You can say the other ones, Drew.
Vata, Pitta, Kapha.
There you go.
What do they mean, though, Chantel? Like, what does wind mean? What does fire mean?
Earth. There was no water, Drew. You said you were water.
I thought there was water. Maybe I meant wind.
Maybe.
Flowing over.
No, that might be me, though. All over the place.
Like a leaf in a windstorm. And, okay, so I was just gonna finish off by saying if you have the means to book a trip to a beach area, or if you have, or to go to like a cruise, exotic resort. I mean, we know how excited people get. Like, they post it all over social media. Like, oh, only 10 more days, 5 more days. And you're like, all right, heard enough. But people get super excited, and you should be, because it's sometimes it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Sometimes it's a once-a-year thing. And if you get a chance to do something like that, like, your whole mindset changes, because when you go to the gym, for example, or you do your at-home workouts, you're always working towards that. You're always working towards looking better in your clothes, or buying new clothes, or going shopping, whatever it is. But you have something to look forward to, and then you're picturing yourself doing something. And I think that visualization in your mind means more than we realize.
Mm-hmm. Nikki says, we try to have family movie nights on Fridays. Here it is. We try to have family movie night Fridays at the end of a busy week. I enjoy it. Yeah, that's perfect. I love that. Family movie night.
Well, you know what? Something that we did. Let us know if the noise is too loud back there, guys, and we'll close the windows. One of the things that I look forward to is something like a pizza night.
Yeah.
Or for example, like Dorothy and I don't go out too much. When we go out, we usually try to go to one of the restaurants or one of the restaurant places where we know the owners and we have a better idea of the food and how they purchase and prepare. But many times we have our own, like, exotic night. So instead of having our regular meals, we'll go and have something different. And like a Friday night or Saturday night, like, one of the things that we haven't had it for a while, but I really used to look forward to is pizza night.
Pizza night. And we would just, we go into the grocery store together and we pick out what we want for our pizza, what veggies we want, because we always make veggie pizza. And then it's something that we do together, right? We make the pizza together. What's another one we like? Oh, sometimes we like to make cauliflower wings.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when Drew is into watching football.
Which I haven't done yet.
He
this
hasn't
year,
got into it yet, but it would be like Sunday football with some cauliflower wings.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
They're delicious, the cauliflower wings. And I don't know, we have so many favorites.
They take a bit longer. Like, we do this on like a Friday night or Saturday night because sometimes they take a bit longer. I guess pizza wouldn't take longer.
Pizza doesn't take that long, but you make it into like a fun thing, right?
Yeah.
Like the grocery store, and we go together, and then we're in the kitchen making it together. So it does take a little bit longer because it's like an event for us.
But that's something that you could do with your family. Like, sounds like Nikki, you do something like that. But you could have like pizza night, and the kids get a chance to make their own pizza, or they get a chance to choose what pizza they're going to make. Taco night, for example, is a great idea. But that's something within the cold winter months that could change or give you something to look forward to.
A different perspective or outlook.
Yeah. Have a different perspective of the long day or the long week. And maybe like we go through, in Alberta, we go through stretches where it's like minus 30 for like a few weeks.
Yeah.
Last couple of years we've had to deal with that. And that's super challenging. It's not always like that, of course, but we all know what that's like. If you're
stuck inside.
And then, oh yeah. So I was just saying that if you give yourself a chance to look forward to like a big trip or a big vacation, that'll make the whole winter. I always think about the first, but before December, the fall, because that's as much fall as we get.
Yeah.
I suppose when snow flies, it just feels like winter.
Technically, it's still summer.
Is it?
Yes. Until the 21st of September is still summer.
Really?
Technically.
So what other tips do you have?
Well, I wanted to touch on trying new things. Because, like throughout the winter, a lot of us are inside, away from the cold. But you could set a goal to try something new this winter. Maybe that is an outdoor activity like snowshoeing or skiing or snowboarding, skating. But if you set a goal to try something new, or if you are, if you are, I don't know, adventurous.
Or if you're not adventurous.
Yeah, you can try something new, and then it gives you something to look forward to. I think they kind of mesh together, right?
What's that?
Well, trying new things, like perhaps that's, let's take ice skating, for example. You could set a goal, I'm going to go ice skating once a month, or once a week, and throughout the winter, and then it gives you something to look forward to.
That's right.
So they kind of mesh together, right?
Yeah,
That's what I was saying.
And you never know what you're going to enjoy or what you're going to do. Like we always try to do new things or different things, whether it's here at the beach or in Alberta. Like we always try to go and like adventure and try new things. You never know. Like I've been meaning to surf for years now, and I never really did it. Like because you have to put in effort. You have to find a board, maybe someone to go with. You have to go to the beach, which I suppose isn't all that challenging. It's not that far, but there are challenges. You have to put in effort above and beyond your regular day-to-day activities.
Well, you know what I think the biggest effort is scheduling the time for yourself is the biggest effort, because you have to block that time out of your day, and unfortunately, we tend, like as humans, we tend to put ourselves last. So we put everybody, like in our schedule or our itinerary for the day, we put everybody else's needs in there, and then often we don't get to ourselves. So it's really important to make sure that we put ourselves first, and I think a lot of the reasons, or most of the reason why we don't put ourselves first is going back to what you were saying, Drew, about feeling guilty about putting ourselves first, or feeling selfish for putting ourselves first. But we really ought to put ourselves first and think about ourselves first, because when we take care of ourselves and take care of our own needs first, then we have so much more to give to those that we love.
Yeah, we feel like we don't deserve these things. That's what it comes down to. I had a really good conversation with Brian. It was on his show. He interviewed me, and he was talking about self-worth. And he said, like, one of his favorite quotes is, "I am worth it." And I think it's so simple that we look past it. Like, you have to understand that you are worth a trip to the Caribbean. Or you're worth a trip to the mountains. Or you're worth a bath in the evening. Like, it's so simple, but we don't think of it like that. We just think like, oh, I have too many other things to do for other people. I'll get around to that. We never do.
Mm-hmm. And, we want to feel needed, right? Like that is a natural human emotion is to feel needed. So we want others to need us, but really we need to need ourselves.
Ooh, I like that. What did Nikki sign up for?
Oh, I saw the word Tai Chi. I signed up for Tai Chi this year, doing something for myself. I took 20 years ago and old before I had kids. Now it's time for me. Room for more if anyone wants to join. Woo! That sounds so cool. Did you ever do any Tai Chi? You tried once, didn't you?
I did Tai Chi for quite a while, actually. Myself, I would just sit there and watch YouTube for hours and then practice. I actually went to go to a Tai Chi class. Like, this isn't going to sound all that positive. I don't want to put a negative aspect on Tai Chi, but I tried to go to a class, and the instructor kind of laughed at me. And then
hurt your feelings a little?
Yeah. They were like, "Oh, we had this conversation. She asked me who I was, what I did." And then she's like, "Oh," and I said, I teach fitness classes. I'm into fitness." And she's like, "Oh." He's like, "Tai Chi probably isn't for you. It's more of a slow moving kind of thing." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So that kind of crushed my Tai Chi dreams.
Your Tai Chi dreams. It might be time to try it again.
But I think Tai Chi is amazing type of flow, and it's a flowing movement. I think it's a flowing, actionable meditation. So I'd love to hear how it goes, Nikki.
Yes.
And keep us updated because I'm interested myself.
In last summer, where we were living here at the beach, there was we would go to the park every morning and work out just across the street from us. And there was a lady that lived in our neighborhood, and remember, she would do Tai Chi every morning in the park. And so she'd be out, doing her movements and her meditating, Tai Chi style, and then we would be doing our stuff, our true form workouts. And it was interesting because as the summer kind of progressed, it was just interesting that we were always out there every morning, same time. And she was asking us at the end of the summer some fitness tips, okay?
Yeah.
By the end of the summer. And the language was a little bit difficult because she didn't speak English, and I'm not sure we didn't speak her language. I'm not sure what her language was, but so the language was a little bit of a barrier, but it was interesting, and we got through it, right? And she was asking all kinds of things about squats and push-ups and dips, and so interested in what we were doing.
Yeah, it was just so different. She was like, I'd imagine you were too, but I was like kind of impressed or amazed at what she was doing. And then she came over and said, "Oh, I should do more push-ups. You guys are in great shape. How do I do squats?" And I was like, how do I do that? Yes, it is for everyone. I would agree, Nikki. Absolutely. Everyone could benefit from it. You kind of inspired my mind. I'm thinking about all the things I used to watch. It was so cool. It was like an art. Mm. It's like an art, like their movements and the energy that they like have a ball. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And okay, what was that last tip that you were talking about?
Well, we were talking about trying new things
trying new things.
And trying new things helps us to step outside our comfort zone as well, meet new people, try new things, and keeps things fresh and moving. And if we're always doing the same thing over and over and over, it gets stagnant. We get bored. We get complacent. But trying new things freshens things up, gives us a new mindset, gives us something to look forward to, and it's exciting. Trying new things is exciting. Sometimes it's learning, okay? And sometimes it can be a little what's that
nervous?
word? You can be a little nervous, or it can be a little scary to try new things or step outside your comfort zone. But that is where learning happens, right? Outside of your comfort zone.
And it's exciting when you learn something new.
Yeah.
I think we get excited.
Yeah.
Do you guys get excited when you learn something new? Or is it just us? Let us know in the comments. Like for us, I think it's exciting when you learn something new. And for me, like one of the tips that I would say is try to go with someone like Nikki's going to a class, for example. Like all I did was search here online for, I said Redondo Beach slacklining, and a guy popped up. So I sent him a message, and he was like this crazy slackline like every day. And I haven't gone for quite a while. And when I did go, it wasn't very often, like every couple times a week maybe. And this guy's like a pro. He can bounce and jump. And so I just met him at the park the other day, and we were talking slacklining. He was giving me some tips and gave me some ideas, and I have new inspiration around it now. So for me to go with someone that knows a bit more, or surfing, for example, I went surfing with a guy that's been surfing for years, like someone that knows what they're doing and can teach you a few things. That would help out a lot too in trying new things instead of I would usually go by myself, not really know what was going on, and probably lose interest pretty quick. But if you go with someone that can help out a bit, that'll make a big difference.
And I think as we're talking, all of these steps, they flow together. So you find something that you like to try. So try something new. For example, like Nikki's trying Tai Chi, or maybe it's a winter sport like we talked about, maybe it's skiing, maybe it's snowboarding. So find something interesting that's new that you'd like to try, then set a goal. So I'm going to do this once a week, or I'm going to do it once a month, but set a goal for yourself. And then it gives you something to look forward to. You're always looking forward to, like, well, I know Drew always looks forward to surf day. I always look forward to yoga day or market day.
But that's it was kind of funny. But that's the mindset. That's what we're trying to get across to you, is that if you have something that you're interested in and excited about throughout the winter, then you're not focused on how cold it is or how little time you're spending outside. Find something that's going to interest you and excite you. So that's what you're focused on, and that's what you're thinking about instead of the negative things.
Mm-hmm. What did Louise say? It's taking a minute. When I was in Beijing, it was really cool watching people do Tai Chi in, how do you say that?
Tiananmen Square?
Oh, Tiananmen Square. It was full of people doing it. Ah.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to participate in that.
You would. Drew, you would be like, oh man.
What?
I don't know.
Dorothy?
I have a vision in my head of what it would look like. Drew doing the Tai Chi in the middle of the square with all of the other people, like, and it looks funny in my mind, but I can't explain it. Can't explain to you what it looks like.
Don't know what Dorothy's trying to get at there.
Sometimes up here, what's going on up in my brain, I can't explain what it is.
Doesn't connect. Verbal.
Drew's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I don't know. It makes sense up here. I just can't get it out.
Did we miss anything? Try new things?
I think we kind of interwove all of our suggestions because interwove them.
I like that. I think is that a new word?
It's my word.
Is that a word, team?
Chantel says, I love these ideas. Thank you. No, so now we're going to be checking in with you guys, see what your new goal is.
That's right. We're going to check in on you, Chantel, to see what you have done new this winter.
Yeah.
And Nikki said, that'd be awesome. An awesome site, Louise. Louise, do you have a picture you could share with us?
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Put a picture in the comments. You're welcome, Chantel. We're happy that these tips are helping you out. We're going to wrap things up here. For just to wrap things up, my last tip would be to set goals, and we kind of talked about it. We kind of interwoven it.
Mm-hmm. Interwoven it.
Dorothy
like my words!
Dorothy says, exactly, that's what I mean. So we've interwoven all these kind of together, but set goals is a big one for me because we just don't set goals, and I think it's because we're scared of failure, and if we say it out loud, I do it myself. I'm like, I think to myself that I got to do this, I should do this, and then I'm like, should I say that out loud to Dorothy or someone else? Because if you say it out loud, then you're like almost committed to it. But you need to set goals because then you give yourself something to look forward to. Then you give yourself some accountability, and then hopefully you can design a plan to give yourself some motivation to get to execute your plan and work towards it.
And you know what? A lot of times I like to set a fitness goal for the spring, April, May, because it's really tough throughout the winter. It's one of the harder times to stick to our fitness routines because there is one more big excuse that can get us out of doing our workout, and that is it's too cold outside, right? Or the roads are too bad if you're traveling to a gym. That's why we like our true form home workouts, because you don't have to go anywhere. But there seems to be that in the wintertime, there's so many more excuses of why we can't go to the gym or why we can't work out, why we can't go to our exercise class. But if we set a goal, for example, I was saying I like to set a spring goal, and usually it's a running goal because what happens for me is over the winter months, usually my running gets less and less.
Decline.
And less. Because running outside in the cold is just not something for me. And then, there's only so many hours you can put in inside on the track or the treadmill before it gets redundant. So setting a fitness goal for the spring always helps me stay on track with my fitness routine as well. So I usually set, I usually register for a spring run, for example, a 10K or a 5K, so that I know that I need to keep up with my running over the winter months because I have this spring run. And there's tons of different things you could do as well to help you stay on track in that regard.
Yeah, did you tell them you're training for a half?
Yeah, well, I put it out there. But right now it's a little different for me because usually I end my run, like my runs are done in the summertime, but I'm actually have decided to do a fall half marathon, and that will be coming up in a few weeks actually. I'm in the middle of training right now for a half marathon. But it's interesting because I always wanted to do a run at the beach, and I've never done it. So this will be my first run here at the beach, and it's funny how goals sneak up on you. When Drew and I first started running years ago, it was probably I don't know how long when we started coming to the beach, but we were just trying to run for like 10 minutes or like 15 minutes, and then I was like, how cool would it be if I could run pier to pier, because we have these little small beach towns. And so last summer we ran from Hermosa to Manhattan Beach Pier. We ran one pier, and then it's like, I want to be able to run all 3 piers. And then the other day, that's something that we did, right? Or we're really close to doing, is running from Redondo Pier into Hermosa Pier into Manhattan Pier. And I was like, that's so crazy that your goals just kind of sneak up on you if you're continually working on them, of course. But you continue to work on them, and then all of a sudden, you did it!
Yeah, and that's what's exciting about goals, is because you set them, and then you can look back a couple of years and be like, wow, my goal was this small. Like, we used to try to run for 15 minutes, and now you're running for hours. So it's crazy to look back and be like, wow, I can't believe I accomplished all that. Yeah, Louis says running outside in the winter is dangerous. Yeah, that's that's one of the challenges. So running inside, I think you do actually. You have an inside gym or track. Oh, maybe that was in Lethbridge, Louis. But in Olds, we're pretty fortunate to have an indoor track, and or there's treadmills and stuff. But it's challenging. But that's why we're offering other tips to give yourself something to look forward to. It's mighty. Your hands off. Dorothy doesn't have a problem sharing my tea.
I don't have a problem sharing.
As long as it's mine.
True.
It's mine. Nikki said I used to run 10 years ago. I loved it. I ran in all kinds of weather.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
Maybe that's something that you'll be doing in the future,
I
Nikki.
ran in the rain the other day in Olds.
You did.
It was cold.
Yeah, it's cold there. Just over 500 hearts. You guys are
Ooh,
awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Just want to tell you here briefly. Okay. One more question here.
One more comment.
I was younger than 2. I have a treadmill now. You were younger 10 years ago, Nikki.
I don't mind. It's funny. I don't mind the treadmill once in a while. Drew, you don't like the treadmill.
It's like a hamster. Can't handle the treadmill.
But I did a lot of miles on the treadmill training through the winter. But Drew couldn't handle it.
No, I'm not.
You didn't like the treadmill.
No, I didn't know. Just want to mention real quick, you guys, Dorothy and I were putting together our own True Form Fitness retreat that we've been kind of going back and forth. Like, should we do this? Should we make it happen? We talked about it a couple of years ago. That was exclusively for our membership group, but we want to open this up to the public here. So we put together a link that we want to share with you guys in case it's something that you might be interested in. So I'm just going to pull up the page so you guys can have a look if you haven't heard us talk about it yet. So, no thank you.
So, True Form's Destination Retreat. So, we wanted to invite you guys here to the beaches in California and South Bay where we are to live with us and experience, I guess, a day in the life with D&D, but on a whole new level. So, Are you going to scroll down, Drew?
I'm working on it.
What's going on?
Okay. Just relax for a second.
I get up. Uh-oh. That's Facebook. We're trying.
Alright.
There we go.
Okay, so we thought that many times that when we go on like vacation, we actually gain weight. We hear that all the time. Over the summer or for December vacations, people gain 10 pounds in a couple weeks. So we want to help you stay in better shape while on vacation. So workouts, meal plans, workshops, we're going to show you how we live a healthy lifestyle.
So you will live like we do, and we will take you through a day, like a typical day with us. And we designed it over a 3-day period with us, so it's very customizable, this idea or this program. We designed it around around 3 days so that you could make it a weekend trip, for example. And each day we will be making 2 meals together. So it won't be a typical retreat where you go and they make the food for you. You'll be actually in the kitchen with us learning about food and learning how to prepare food. And you'll be making it with us in the kitchen. We'll be working out every day. So we'll take you for workouts on the beach. We'll actually be showing you and going through with you our morning routine and our relaxation techniques. So you'll be meditating with us and journaling with us and doing affirmations with us every day. And we'll be doing grocery store tours and going to the market because that's what that's what's a part of our life, right? We know people in the area that yoga instructors and different fitness instructors that we could bring in as special guests.
Yeah, and then some of the things we talked about, like some of the things that you'll bring, or we'll help you book airfares and spending money, like accommodations, that stuff we'll help you with, but that wouldn't be included.
Accommodations as well.
Yeah, accommodations as well. So if that is something, let me flip back here. Are we back?
I don't know. Oh, there we are. We're back now.
So if that's something that you guys are interested in, let us know. We can send you more details. And yeah, we have the whole thing planned out, and we're kind of excited about it. So we thought you can do it for one person. You can set it up for one person, and then you could set it up to 3 people. There's discounts for a group of 2 or 3, and then if it's for a group of more, probably wouldn't have too many more than 3. But if it's a small group of like 5, we could set that up, customized for your group. There's no set time of year. So if you say if you say we want to do it in January, then we'll set up a time, we'll block off a weekend, or we'll block off a week specific for your group. And
so you would get to choose the date that you come, and we have designed it for a 3-day kind of weekend period. But if you want to extend that, we can make it totally customizable. So if you wanted to do 5 days, or if you wanted to do 4 days, we can customize that to tailor your specific needs.
Yeah, for sure. And that's something that we're kind of excited about, because it's not like, here's the retreat, this is when we're doing it, you have to book it this time.
Right.
Because I think conventional retreats are like that. We don't do very many things conventionally. So we want to do it as customizable as possible for you guys. And so, some of you guys we know very well, like Louise and Chantal, you're both commenting here, like, we know you guys so well. It'd be so cool to spend a weekend or a week with you guys and showing you the way we live and showing you how to do the things that we do, so you can do it yourselves.
That's right. And the date is a huge obstacle because everybody's schedule is so different. So we wanted to give you guys the opportunity to choose your own date. If you're interested in it, if it's something you'd like to do, we wanted to give you guys that opportunity to choose when it works for you, as opposed to trying to make the date work.
And you know what's cool is, like Chantal says, she's interested, Louise is interested, like, we might be able to get it together so you guys can get a bit of a discount and you're coming together. So
at the same time.
Arrange those dates so we can have a smaller group, maybe 4 or 5 people as opposed to one person. But if it's one person, we can make that work too. It's pretty
flexible and customizable, because even if you guys have specific goals that you wanted to work on with us, maybe it's a running goal, we can design the workouts that we do around your goal.
That's right. So yeah, Chantel, I posted that link in the comments. If you don't see it, I'll send it to you guys individually as well. It's not like a product at this point we have on our page. We're not like, hey, this is a product that anyone could sign up for. It's more for people that we know and people that we work with. So I'd imagine some random person isn't going to be like, oh, I just heard about these guys, I want to take a retreat with them. It's going to be people that are close to us that have been working with us for a while, or recommendations from you guys to bring a friend with you. That'd be a bit different too.
Or, even if you, for example, if you want to come with a really good, like you were saying, a really good friend, or even a spouse, like it could be a getaway weekend, true form style.
And then Louise said, maybe I can pry Rhonda away from her work and do it.
Ooh, oh my gosh! That would be amazing.
That'd be lots of fun. And I'm good with that. Yeah, Louise says she's pretty flexible. So Chantel or we got a handful of people tuning in here. So anyone that might be interested in that, it's a bit different. Like, I suppose, like you have a retreat, and a retreat is where you might relax and do nothing. Right, and we didn't want it to be like, we didn't structure it around just laying around and not like a meditation or spa retreat. And then we didn't want it to be like a crash course on boot camp either.
No.
So we've kind of found a happy medium while you're active and you're working out. We have meditation and relaxation tools and ideas and time that we've set aside for it. But
yeah, you will have some time away from us to go and do things that, if you want to sit on the beach, or if you want to go kayaking, or if you want to do, there's tons of things in the area. There's whale watching, there's shopping, there's anything you want is around here. So we would have scheduled blocks, like chunks of time where you can go and do your own thing.
Yeah. Again, we have the link there. I'm just sorry. I just saw it. I get distracted by the hearts. We just have over 700 hearts.
That's awesome, you guys. Thank you.
Maybe we can get to 1,000.
True.
I'm just kidding. We're going to wrap things up here. Well, we have that link. We'll share it with you guys individually. And, we'd love to make that happen if that works out for you guys. And we're super excited about it. So we spent a whole day yesterday cleaning up that page and talking about ideas and all these things that we could do to make happen. So if we get a few of you interested, then we'd be so excited to make that work.
Oh, it would be so much fun.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap things up here. We just want to thank you for being here. We so much appreciate you coming in to check out our shows. And Friday mornings, we love Friday mornings. We're always excited to get up early and hang out with you guys.
Yeah, it's one of our favorite days. And we do, when we're here at the beach, we do have to get up a little bit extra early, but we enjoy it and we look forward to it. And that's because of you guys. So thanks so much for your support and tuning in and listening.
Yeah, have a wonderful weekend. We are of course, we're on social media. On Facebook, we love your comments, your shares, and your likes. Those really help.
Tomorrow morning on YouTube, we've got a brand new episode of D&D coming out about our keto cleanse. So our 3-day keto cleanse, we're finally releasing that episode, and it's very is candid the right word?
Candid, open,
honest.
We tell you how we are starving. It's 3 days of no food.
And you guys, if you've been watching and following along, we did that 3-day cleanse back in the summer. Well, I don't know. Not too long ago, but you will notice that you'll just notice we're a little different. When we were watching or editing the video yesterday, we noticed that we look different. Like our energy levels look different. So depleted a little.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Check it out. We're not fast people. We're not weekend detox people, but we want to experience this. Did some extra research and did it right, the proper way. We didn't have a giant cheeseburger pizza to break our fast. We stayed healthy. We stayed clean. We stayed active, and we wanted to share that with you. And there are benefits to fasting, but doing it the proper way. So we wanted to share that experience with you guys, and you'll be able to tell right away how challenging it was.
Yeah,
mentally, physically. So that's going to be coming out live here on our YouTube channel tomorrow morning.
Yeah, so check that out. We'll put a little snippet up on Facebook for you guys with the full link, or you can head on over to youtube.com/trueformlife, and you can catch the new episode there.
That's right. All right, guys, have a wonderful weekend. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you online.
See you later.
See you guys.
Bye.